Do you have good quad development, but your hamstrings are shallow and weak? I'm going to show you how to fix that so your legs look good from all angles. Stay until the end for a valuable power tip as always. Don't warm up your hamstrings with a static stretch when they're cold. A proper warm up to activate the hamstrings is best. I start with an inchworm to groiner 5 times each side. Then I move on to the single leg hip raise because what that does, it helps to activate the hamstring and get that mind to muscle connection going before I move on to the next exercise. It will help prevent injuries while you're training, improve athletic performance, and help you build muscle more effectively. Next, I move on to the seated hamstring curl. I do 2 sets times 20 reps with a relatively light weight. The goal here is to pump lots of blood into the muscle. Lock in that mind to muscle connection. As you see, I squeeze hard at the bottom to really get that mind to muscle going. This is important because if you've been neglecting your hamstrings, at this point you want to make sure that you really connect with them, so this warm-up is really what you need to start. Next, I move on to the lying hamstring curl. I'm up on my elbows to keep my pelvis down, my thighs are flat on the pad, and it's important to keep the knees on the pad to prevent the shearing force that'll give you knee pain after. This helps prevent using momentum. I do 3 work sets of 10 to 12 reps. And of course, you can do your work sets, go back to the seated hamstring curl if that's what you want to do if you don't like to use the lying. This next part is important if you want to emphasize different parts of the hamstring. So as you see, the semimembranosus and the semitendinosus originate at the pelvis and they insert into the tibia medially on the inside of the knee. Next, you have the biceps femoris long head, which originates at the pelvis and inserts at the tibia on the lateral or outside of the knee. You can't see the biceps femoris short head, but that muscle actually doesn't cross the hip. It starts and originates at the femur and attaches at the tibia on the lateral side. So knowing the anatomy, you'll see the toes touching hits more of the biceps femoris. Heels touching hits more of the semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Next, the deadlift hits the hamstrings well. Remember, the short head doesn't cross the hip. For that reason, you need to leg curl and deadlift for overall development. I like to do paused reps from the floor. What you lose in constant tension, you gain in a stronger contraction. I pull to just above 90 degrees to keep the tension on the hamstrings and control the negative or eccentric part. I do 6-5-4 reps, adding weight each set. I find that going beyond 3 heavy work sets interferes with my recovery. You may be able to do more or not, but keep that in mind. To answer the question, the hamstrings are a mix of slow twitch and fast twitch fibers. Therefore, they respond to training in all rep ranges. Of course, there are other exercises that you can do, but these are my bread and butter. Power tip: if you can't work hamstrings separately on a different day, then I suggest you work the hamstrings first on your leg day. This is going to ensure that you get the development and you don't overdo your quads. You want to get that balance back. Work them first, you'll be glad you did. Watch this next if you need help with your squat, and as always, thanks so much for watching.